Welcome to the 8th video in Harvey Mudd College's Linux tutorial series. This video will explain how to view and understand a file's permissions. Information on who can access a file is included in the long output for the command ls. Let's take a closer look at the long output. The first character gives the type of file, hyphen for ordinary file, D for directory, L for symbolic link, and others. The next 9 characters give the file permissions. The next field is a number, which tells us the number of files in the directory if the file is a directory, or is the number 1 otherwise. Next, we see the owner of the file, followed by the name of the owning group of the file. Then we have a number representing the size of the file. The 7th field is a timestamp for the last time the file was modified, and the final field is the file name. The file permissions are further broken into 3 groups: permissions for the file owner, permissions for members of the owning group, and permissions for everyone else, or world permissions. The first 3 characters give the owner's permissions, the middle 3 give the group's permissions, and the last 3 give the world permissions. There are also 3 different kinds of permissions you can have: read permission, write permission, and execute permission. Read permission is represented with an R and allows you to view the contents of a file or directory. Write permission is represented with a W and gives you the ability to edit a file or add or delete files to a directory. Execute permissions are represented with an X and give you permission to execute the file if it contains a program. In this example, we see that the file owner has read, write, and execute permissions. The file group has read and execute permissions, and the world has read-only permissions. If a user does not have a certain type of permission, a hyphen appears instead of an R, W, or X. Let's look at another example. If you want to quiz yourself, pause the video and answer the questions yourself before I reveal the answers. This is a directory, which I can tell because the first character is the letter D. The directory is named Gauss Files. It's owned by a user named Prof. Someone in the group C4 Lab has read, write, and execute permissions, but a random user has only read and execute permissions. If you have trouble reading or running a file, use ls-l to check whether you have the appropriate permission to do so. If you don't have permission and you need it, try asking the file owner or system administrator to give you access. Congratulations! You can now interpret the output of ls-l to determine what file permissions you have.